We have Richard here. He's the co-founder of Huma Finance, and we're just going to ask him some questions. All right, first one. Huma focuses on tokenizing finance and payment transactions. It doesn't necessarily sound sexy, and convince us. Why is this boring asset class actually the first multi-trillion-dollar RWA opportunity?
Anybody doing investment based on sexy? No. Everybody's just based on investing based on the asset class's quality. How good, what's the risk level, what's the pricing? And in this case, we finance and payment transactions, and we have already processed $6.7 billion transaction with zero default. The risk is very, very low. And because we help payment transactions to settle much faster, we charge a fee for every day and several bips. Then from that one, you generate a very reliable yield. And that's what people are for. And thirdly, when we launched this product, we already have about 100,000 depositors into the Huma pool. That's just passion. That was just strong support from the community.
So DeFi is usually associated with high risk, speculative yield, and Huma Finance 2.0 on Solana uses yield generated by real-world finance and payment transactions, which seems more sustainable and stable in the long run. But how much do users really care about sustainable and stable yield backing when they can easily get 20% or plus yield from other DeFi protocols, for example, with the right DeFi looping strategies?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Reality is that, when you have the high quality RWA product, and if you can also use looping, and especially when your yield is much stable, and actually the users will feel more confident to do looping. Because when you are speculative, like some of the DeFi, your yield suddenly may drop below your borrowing cost. You're actually looping at losing money at scale. But for stable yield like Huma, I call it a very strong yield premium. And we have stable yield like 9-10%. Then we have some additional incentives, but 9% is generally higher than the borrowing cost of 6.5 or 7%. That people can loop with a high confidence. That's where I would call RWA assets has way more, attractiveness, way more powerful than typical DeFi assets.
You've previously spoken about building an open financing network to surpass traditional systems. What is the one thing Huma's model can do for a small business that traditional banks or Visa just simply cannot?
I think I would say what we want to enable is T+0 for cross, global transactions or credit card transactions. Today, a lot of you and I swipe credit card. We get service on the real time, but the merchants typically get paid T+2, T+3. That's delayed. What if we are able to enable for them to get paid in real time, or even not real time, but on the daily basis boundary? That's pretty cool. We're working with major networks trying to enable that experience. I believe that is when you use blockchain stablecoin to its best.